I want to tell you a story not about science, not about symptoms, not about what ADHD is or isn't, just a story about a girl who spent years believing that she was the problem. Her name doesn't matter, but if you have ADHD, I think you might already know her, because there's a good chance she sounds exactly like you. My cousin was maybe 15 the first time an elder in the family said it to her face. She had forgotten something again, a task she was supposed to do, a responsibility that slipped through her hands like water. The elder looked at her and said so everyone could hear, "You are the reason your parents are unhappy." She didn't cry. Not there, not in front of everyone. She nodded. She said sorry. She went quiet for the rest of the evening, but those words didn't leave with the guests. They stayed. They followed her to bed that night. They were still there in the morning, and she believed them because by then, she had heard versions of this so many times that she had stopped arguing. She thought, maybe they're right. Maybe I am the problem. A few years later, someone in the family found out she had been told she might have ADHD. A teacher had noticed. A school counselor had said something. For the first time in her life, there was a name for what she had been carrying. She felt, for just a moment, like she could breathe, but the relief didn't last long. A relative, someone older, someone whose opinion carried weight, said this loud enough for her to hear. ADHD, please. That's just something they say to cover up carelessness. She uses it as an excuse for her blunders. She had just found a word that finally explained her whole life, and someone had taken it away before she even had a chance to hold on to it. She stopped talking about ADHD after that. She stopped telling people. She learned to pretend it hadn't been said at all. I don't know exactly how old she was when this moment happened. Late teens, maybe. After years of struggling in school. After years of being called lazy, careless, dramatic, difficult. After years of believing it. She went to her mother one night. She said, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm trying. I promise I'm trying. I sit down to do things and I just can't. And I don't know why. And everyone thinks I'm not trying. But I am. I am trying so hard and it's still not enough. And I don't know what to do." She wasn't asking for a diagnosis that night. She wasn't asking for an explanation or a solution or a plan. She was just asking for someone to believe her. To believe that the effort was real even when the results weren't visible, even when she had nothing to show for it, even when the whole world had already decided who she was. Here is what was true the whole time. She wasn't lazy. She was fighting a battle nobody could see. She wasn't careless. She had a brain that processed the world differently, and nobody had ever given her the tools to understand it. She wasn't the reason anyone was unhappy. She was a child doing her absolute best in a home that didn't yet have the language to understand what she was going through. And the ADHD wasn't an excuse. It was an explanation. There is a difference. An excuse is used to avoid accountability. An explanation is used to understand what's happening so you can actually do something about it. She deserved that explanation years before she got it, and so did every person who loved her and didn't know how to help. If you are watching this and you recognize yourself in her story, I want you to hear this. You are not the reason anyone is unhappy. You are not making excuses. You are not broken. You have a brain that works differently. And in many places, especially in our communities, nobody taught the people around you what that means. That is not your fault. The effort you have been putting in every single day, even when it produces nothing visible, even when nobody sees it, even when you have nothing to show, that effort is real. You are not imagining it, and you are not alone. This channel exists because of her story and because of yours.